Welcome everyone to Until the Whistle Blows. I'm Jonathan Jones.
I'm Jackson Tyler.
And today we're going to be talking about sports. Every year, NBA fans argue over this very question. Who is the best NBA player? We're about to break down the NBA's best players right now, and we're going to give our take on who's the best. So here are some quick stats brought to you by Cali, Despond, Salon. Kevin Durant averages 29.2 points a game. Rudy Gobert averages 15.1 rebounds a game. Chris Paul averages 10.2 assists a game. Brook Lopez averages 3 blocks a game. And Paul George averages 2 steals a game. All those players are the current leaders in the category mentioned. So now it's time for opinions. Jackson, right now, who is the best NBA player this season?
Okay, in my opinion, it's DeMar DeRozan. But without being like a fan of him, I have to go for, to be honest, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Every single game that he plays is outstanding. I could see him possibly, maybe getting to the finals this year. I don't know if he'll win it, but he is very good. So we'll see.
For me, I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Durant. The Nets are like one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Kevin Durant is definitely one of those key factors that brings him success. He's averaging 29.2 points a game right now, so I'm going to have to go with KD.
Now for the NHL. The division leader records are Central Division leader is the Colorado Avalanche with the record of 29-8. And then for Pacific Division leader, it is the Vegas Golden Knights with the record of 25-15. Now, with the Atlantic Division leader, Florida Panthers have a very nice lead, 29-9 of the record. And then Metropolitan Division leader is New York Rangers, 28-11. Now, we're mid-season in the NHL right now, so these records could easily change. We saw that 2 weeks ago. It was the Preds on top of the Central Division and the Lightning on top of the Atlantic. Both those teams are now second in their division. Only 2 teams in the NHL have a win streak over 5, and that's the Colorado Avalanche and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Avalanche is on a 7-game win streak, taking the number 1 team in the Central Division. And the Penguins are on a 6-win streak, taking the 2nd spot for the Metropolitan Division. Do you think the Penguins will steal the first spot?
I think they very much can. Right now, they are on a big hot streak right now. Jake Gensel's playing really good. The team is working together. I think that very soon, in the next few weeks, we could see Pittsburgh on top of the Metropolitan Division.
Maybe a Stanley?
The Stanley Cup? I don't know about that. We'll have to see. UFC 270 is now over. We had mentioned it in our last broadcast, and right now we're going to give you the results of the UFC 270 main card. Marco Pereira put on a show and defeated Andre Fialho by decision after 5 rounds. He was Superman punching off the cage and even did some sort of like cartwheel kick during that fight. Also, Davison Figueiredo is the new flyweight champion after defeating Brandon Moreno by decision. And for the main event, Francis Ngannou defends his heavyweight title against the formerly undefeated Cyril Gane. Ngannou performed 4 impressive takedowns and escaping all 3 of Gane's submission attempts. So he defends his title, and Francis Ngannou is still the heavyweight champion. Now for the NFL, the divisionals are done. Both AFC and NFC championships are set, but we want to thank our sponsors for sponsoring the 2nd episode of Until the Whistle Blows. Our first sponsor is Cali Despond Salon. Cali is a day spa located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Cali offers a variety of spa and salon services, and they provide massage therapy, skin therapy, nail color, hair color, and of course, haircuts. I've been there before. Great quality, friendly service. You should definitely check them out. You can find them at 2705 Old Fort Parkway, Suite I, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can call them at 615-900-3156. And now we want to thank our most recent sponsor, Brownlow Lawn Service. Brownlow Lawn Service is a lawn care company that serves the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area. They provide lawn and landscaping services customized to your specific needs. No contracts are required, and they give free estimates. This is a family-owned and operated business that strives to bring quality work to their customers without the high prices. You can reach them by calling 615-631-9447 or emailing them at brownlowlawnservice brownlowlawnservice@outlook.com. And you can also find them at their website at brownlowlawnservice.com. And finally, we want to thank American Auto Care for sponsoring our second episode. American Auto Care is a mechanic shop in Nashville, Tennessee, and it is a family-owned business that has been serving the Nashville area for over 25 years. They do ACs, brakes, tune-ups, and much more, and this place is professional, honest, and an A+ Triple B accredited business. You can find them at 4696 Knowlesville Pike, Nashville, Tennessee, and you can reach them at 615-781-AUTO or visit their website at americanautocare.business.site. Now let's talk playoffs.
For the NFC playoffs, the 49ers beat the Packers at Lambeau Field 13-10. The 49ers did not score an offensive touchdown, but their special teams blocked a field goal attempt from the Packers and blocked a punt and returned it for a touchdown. The game ended in a 45-yard field goal made by Robbie Gould. Now, the Rams thought they had a blowout in hand, but the Bucs gave them a run for their money. At one point, the Rams were beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-3 in the third quarter. Along with some major turnovers, the Bucs offense was able to score 24 points to tie the game 27, even with 42 seconds left in the game. Now, Matthew Stafford was not planning on overtime. Stafford connected with Cooper Kupp twice for 2 big-yard gains to get the Rams in field goal range. Matt Gay kicked the game-winning field goal to make it 30-27, with the Rams defeating Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Here's our playoff breakdown for the AFC. The Chiefs defeat the Bills at home in overtime. Patrick Mahomes threw it to Travis Kelce from the 8-yard line to win the game. Both teams scored a total of 25 points with a minute 54 left in the game. Josh Allen put on a show that night, but so did Mahomes. Here's our QB comparison brought to you by American Auto Care. Josh Allen threw for 329 yards and had 4 passing touchdowns, while Mahomes passed for 378 yards and threw 3 touchdowns. Both QBs were their team's leading rusher. Josh Allen had 11 carries for 68 yards with 0 rushing touchdowns, while Patrick Mahomes had 7 carries for 69 yards with 1 rushing touchdown. But both quarterbacks performed really good, but in the end, Chiefs win, they're moving on. Now for the Bengals versus the Titans. The Bengals upset the number 1 Titans 19-16 with a 52-yard field goal with 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Ryan Tannehill threw an interception, leaving the Bengals 20 seconds left in the game. The Bengals drive down the field from the 53 to the 32-yard line, and McPherson puts the game away with a game-winning kick. Titans lose. Bengals move on to the AFC Championship. Now, although fans want to blame Tannehill for throwing 3 interceptions, which he did, and losing the game for the Titans ultimately, the entire team wasn't firing on all cylinders. You had Derrick Henry only running for 62 yards and 20 carries. The Titans secondary allowed 348 yards passing. But you know who was firing on all cylinders? Time to take a look at our Impact Stat segment, brought to you by Brownlow Lawn Service. Defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons put up 7 tackles and 3 sacks, adding to the Titans' 9 sacks against the Bengals. Also, Titans running back Deontay Foreman ran for 66 yards and 4 carries. That's 16.5 yards a carry. What went wrong for the Titans, Jackson?
I think it's just Tannehill throwing mistakes and throwing interceptions. But for Derrick Henry, I feel like they rushed his injury, so he wasn't performing the best. If they just kept performing in, I think they would have had like a bigger chance of winning. But that's just my opinion.
And you would have also think too, if they would have ran Deontay Foreman a little bit more, he would have had more yards and could have won the game. We could have seen the Titans in the AFC Championship. But right now you have Kansas City and Cincinnati Bengals at Kansas City in the AFC Championship. Jackson, who do you think is going to win these championships?
Okay, so first for the NFC, I got San Francisco 49ers. If you look at the past 2 games, the first game, the 49ers blew them out, and it was in LA, so it kind of felt like it was a San Francisco home game. But then their second game, LA came to San Fran and made it a 3-point game, but the Niners still took the win. I got the Niners for that. For AFC, even though the Bengals beat the Titans, I got the Bengals beating the Chiefs.
You got the Bengals beating the Chiefs? Yep. All right.
Who do you think's going to win?
For the NFC, I'm going to have to go with the LA Rams over the 49ers. I just feel like the way playoff Rams are going right now, they've been really consistent about putting up the points. But I would say that 49ers are a pretty solid team. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out, but I'm going to have to go Rams on that one. But for the AFC, I think I'm going to have to go Chiefs. I'm not really a big fan of the Chiefs, but they are playing really good right now. I mean, Patrick Mahomes really setting the bar for all QBs around the league. I mean, I think that they can definitely take the Bengals at home, and I think we'll be seeing Chiefs-Rams in the Super Bowl.
That would be a fun game, to be honest.
Alright, thanks everyone for watching Until the Whistle Blows. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to get more sport content and all sorts of new topics that we'll be covering. And I'm your host, Jonathan Jones.
And I'm Jackson Todd.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.